I've probably been one of the biggest skeptics of these automatic traps. Ever since they came out, I thought, wow, this is going to be a silver bullet, but I tried it on the rats in my yard. When I moved into this house in Santa Cruz, there were rats in the garage and there was rats under the house. And man, in the garage, I actually put out bait, which I regret, but I wasn't really a very skilled pest professional back then. And I got to see firsthand why the bait was a terrible idea inside the garage because the rats died in the garage and there was these huge flies and maggots and it was just disgusting. Actually, it was also a little bit fascinating, I have to admit, seeing a rat's carcass completely devoured by flies or maggots basically was pretty fascinating. But as a pest professional, I was like, oh no, this is why you don't use bait. For all the reasons to use bait or not use bait, one of them is the rats die wherever they die, and that's often going to be inside your home or your garage, and they're going to stink, and the flies are gross. And I've even seen customers who've got flies stuck to their wall, like obsessed on the wall in their kitchen because the rat is dead inside the drywall, and the flies just know it, and the homeowner's just grossed out, and you can smell the dead rat in the kitchen, but you can't reach it. Anyway, so I put the camera. I had a security camera, and I just put it in different places to see if I could see the rat in action. And I found a spot in the crawl space where the rat came and went. Every day the rat came and went. And I began to feed it different things and watch it. And I set up the automatic trap because I was like, okay, this is what this thing is built for. The A24 automatic trap should be a no-brainer. I set it up in the crawl space with the attractant that it comes with, which is like a Nutella chocolate hazelnut kind of paste. And the rat was scared of the trap. It changed its behavior. The rat would not go near it. And later I learned about this when I went to the West Coast Rodent Academy, and we learned and saw lots of videos about how rats will avoid traps, bait boxes. It's called neophobia. And it's a rat's natural instinct to just avoid something new or be afraid of something new. I call it an innate skepticism, and I think that things that are inherently skeptical stay alive longer. And that's what I think the rats really got going on for it. So anyway, with this automatic trap, it took maybe a week for the rat to become interested in the smell of the attractant and approach it cautiously. And the rat would jump back and then come closer and sniff it and jump back. Well, I had been searching online for advice on why this wasn't killing the rat. And some people said the attractant that comes with it is just not what they want. So try different things. Well, it's not easy to just try different baits or lures in this automatic trap. I mean, it's not hard, but it's like you got to start interacting with the trap kind of on a daily basis. You got to open it up and take out the attractant that comes with it and like put a little slice of apple in there or a peanut or whatever. And in fact, apple was what did it, but it took like the third night. So I put sliced apple in there. And then the rat came and was more curious than ever. But like day one, sniffed it. Day two, put his head in there, but ran away. Day three, put his head and body in there. And maybe it was like day three or day four, he went for the apple slice. And I'm not going to lie to you folks, the rat, it got killed and it was like drop dead. Definitely, I don't think the rat felt any pain. But I lost my little buddy. I'd been filming this rat for weeks and I was sad. But I also learned another thing. There was no second rat. There was no third rat. Sometimes you have just one rat and the problem is solved. for a while. A rat never really came back. I went looking for other rats because I wanted to do more filming, and I put the automatic trap on the back fence where I saw some rats, their little blinking eyes in the dark with a night vision camera. And it did kill one. I knew it killed one because there was a little blood. And the raccoons always steal the bodies. That's what the trap is kind of like, known for, is that if you're killing rats outside, there's all manner of things at night that will come and eat the bodies. And that's also testament to how if you're poisoning rats, something's going to eat that body, and they're going to eat every body, and they're going to accumulate some of that poison inevitably. So with the automatic trap, the bodies are clean. But that was it. I didn't have enough rats to really test it all out. But I bought a bunch of the traps eventually for work, and we used them on a bunch of jobs, and we got some pretty poor results as far as knocking them dead. And so I'll say, it's really not the trap's fault per se. I mean, here's the thing. If you put food out on a wooden snap trap, the rat can see the food on a plate, basically. If you put the food out inside the tunnel cavity of the automatic trap, the rat has to go into a tight tunnel cavity. That takes longer for the rat to get accustomed to. So that's really a big difference. But the beauty of it is if you can set it and just leave it, and the attractant you use doesn't go bad, and the rats like the attractant, then the thing will kill 24 rats. That's why it's called the A24. That's how much charge is in the carbon dioxide canister. It'll reload itself 24 times. Okay, that's cool. Now, so what I'd say is that and they're really expensive. So if you're not budget conscious and you don't want to handle snap traps, which I get that. Snap traps they're tricky. If you're not a rat, if you don't love this stuff, handling the snap traps and handling the dead rat and all that stuff is not fun. And you can't put snap traps outside without a cover on them. Now you're back to the tunnel. The same issue that the automatic trap has. Because if you put a snap trap out without a cover on it, you're going to catch possums and bunnies and snakes and birds. Lots of birds. So that's not what we're about. We're not about, hey, kill it all and some of it will be rats. We're trying to be very targeted in what we do. Not everything is an enemy. A lot of these things are beneficial. So, if you're going to buy a A24, and I frankly recommend you buy several, and there's a big investment, they're near $200 each. You're going to spend $600, $800 on these traps. I'll tell you this, they're going to last you forever. Putting new CO2 in them is cheap. It's a step in the right direction for outdoor rat issues, because outdoor rats live like nighttime squirrels, right? You see squirrels during the day and you think they just belong here, they're comfortable here, they live in the trees, they bound about and do their thing. Well, rats and squirrels are very closely related, and at night all the squirrels go to sleep and the rats come out, and they do basically the same thing. So when they're bounding about at night and they find that they want to get in your car or your house or eat your vegetables in your garden, hopefully having these automatic traps set up correctly will knock a bunch of them out while you do nothing, which is way easier. When you talk about time value of money, it is way easier to have 4 or 5 of these automatic traps do a okay job than you being involved with hand trapping and or turning to bait, which many people are anti-bait. So if you're hand trapping or using an automatic trap, you're actually going to spend a lot more time and money. Personal time and money and value of your time hand trapping. And the nice thing is the automatic trap will sit there and become normalized and the rats will never see it. That's the beauty. Once they get used to it, they don't see that it's weird. They just see that it's normal in their environment and it smells like food. The trick is getting the attractant. And I know the Goodnature Automatic Trap Company has been making different attractants. They got some that are meat based now. Some rats would going to want meat. They got some that are more peanut, more chocolate. You know, you can try those things out. And the thing is too is you can put those different things out without the trap and see which ones the rats are eating. You could even put it out in an easy place so the rats start to like it. Or you could put out an analog, something that's meat based. For instance, you go to AM/PM or your local snackies place, like at the gas station, and buy a bunch of like meat sticks. If you want to know if rats like meat, you buy a bunch of cheap meat sticks, like Slim Jims, and you put them out. And if the rats like them, they'll start to become habituated to them. And then you can just switch it with the meat paste, and then little by little, they'll go, oh, well, that meat flavor we love and have come to rely on is now in this automatic trap. It's still work that you got to do, right? I'm not talking about set it and forget it in that regard. And then also it's important to know rats don't think with their stomach as much as they want to stay warm and safe and cozy. So they'll pass up food for a warm place to hide, which is like your car or your shed. And so while they're in your car or your shed, they're chewing on your stuff because rats are just obligate chewers. They have to chew. They nibble on everything all the time. It's part of keeping their teeth the correct length. Their teeth grow endlessly and they chew them down. So why do you get all this car damage? The rats are looking for a place to stay at night. While they're there, they chew on the wires. If they're starving or hungry, craving something, they're going to go out and get it. And frankly, in the environment around, there's lots of rat food. Your trees probably dropping some fruit. Your garden has some snails. The tender bark on the trees and green shoots on the shrubs and vegetable plants and all that stuff are nourishment. They're eating bugs. They're eating cockroaches. They're eating mice. They're robbing birds, in bird nests and eggs. They're opportunistic, they're cunning, and they are very much adapted to the environment around your home. So they're not starving for the food you put out. So you got to put out some food that's extremely delicious. This is why we almost always start with peanut butter. Peanut butter's got a great aroma. It's roasted. It lights you up. Whenever you open up a fresh jar of peanut butter, that first smell, tell me that you don't love and have a strong, desirous reaction to that smell. Well, rodents do too. So I guess I'll wrap up here by saying that the automatic trap, oh, and by the way, they make one for squirrels, and they make one for ground squirrels. That's called the Terra Trap, TERRATRAP. These things are more powerful. The squirrel ones are more powerful. You have the similar challenges of getting, the rat, the squirrel to go into this thing. But once you get that, Mother Nature kind of takes care of the rest. Now you might say, well, what if the squirrel's in my attic and I kill it in the attic? Well, you got to go get the carcass. There's nobody to steal it up in there, So it's not like that's just a set it and forget it and never come back kind of thing. You got to go check on it. But the attic squirrel is also going outside daily, so you can catch it outside. Mice in the house, the mouse trap option for this is more electric impact. It's still the same, whack them in the head, knock them out cold, and they die painlessly, but it uses battery power instead of carbon dioxide. And you do got to pick up the carcasses. But there's an app and it'll tell you when it's time. So that's cool. Anyway, you can see all the links on the pestdude.com blog. I'll make a video about this stuff too. You can see it on the YouTube channel. And, if you got the money, it's worth it. Like anything else, you're gonna hear there's no one size solution. Now, as a professional, I'm not going to use this product most of the time. I am going to encourage my customers to get one or two or three. But if they call me and say, Zach, hey, I got rats in my attic, which is common, I'm going to go up there and hand trap them and get it done because I can get it done quickly and I know what I'm doing. But I'm a pro, you know. Now, I still might say, hey, the rats are coming in from the environment around. Let's get some of these automatic traps out. And we might put some trap boxes out, etc., etc. We're going to try a bunch of different things because, again, like I said, it's a multifaceted approach to get rat reduction. And that's what I'm going to tell people too. If you have rats outdoors, you're going to get rat reduction, not elimination most of the time. Because even if you have no rats for, a month, there's still mama rats somewhere. And rats travel like a football field a night looking for food and heartbridge. And they'll hopscotch, especially young males that don't have any family. They're going to hopscotch around. They're going to go 100 yards and set up shop wherever they find suitable. So they'll be back. That's the point. They'll be back. All right. If you have any questions, you can always reach out at pestdude.com. There's a contact us form. Check it out. Follow, like, and subscribe. Keeps the channel going. We do make a small commission from the products we recommend. It's small. I'm not getting rich off of this. It's not going to pay my rent, but it does help keep the channel going because this costs. And I look, it's fun, but it also costs a bunch. So it's good to offset those costs. And yeah, I think that's about it. Thanks, folks. Pest Dude out.